Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is the Hammered Airsoft Smith. And this is my Survivalist Carbine Airsoft project. This is a direct nod, for the most part, towards Bethesda and Obsidian's Fallout New Vegas video game. But that's my favorite game of all time with Dark Souls. And I've always liked the Survivalist rifle. And if you don't know what that is, it's pretty much an AR-10, like one of the original AR-10s. It has wood furniture and whatnot, and but it's chambered in a Soviet 50 caliber, which is the 12.7 millimeter, and I think that is their nod toward the 50 caliber Beowulf cartridge for the AR platform. So I wanted to kind of have my own spin to that, because I don't have a rifle. I had a carbine, and I prefer a carbine. It's more balanced. So, and I really liked the G&G CM16 or M4A1 so much that I wanted to do my own twist to it. So, this is what I got. So it's a combination between the Survivalist rifle and the Assault Carbine, which is like an XM177 Car 15 in Fallout New Vegas. So, with that said, I have a Car 15 stock from a Real Steel Car 15. You can pick them up in Midway USA or Brownells. And this is the original G&G CM16 M4 style adjustable stock. The Car 15, the Real Steel Car 15 stock, was a drop bit. So with that being said, I'm not going to do the wood furniture completely. I still want to do the wood furniture. I want wood furniture for the handguards and wood furniture for the pistol grip. The stock is done and over with, and I'm quite pleased with it. Okay, so with that said about the handguards I had painted for now to kind of have a nod toward the retro BR10s. So back then, the retro ones, they were brown fiberglass or polymer, some sort of plastic. So for now, until I get the wood furniture, which I don't know when that would be, I just painted these Rust-Oleum, only a couple coats of paint of the brown leather gloss, and I took some sandpaper and some steel wool, kind of cleaned it up and rubbed it down so it's not so glossy looking, and it actually kind of gives more of a texture and gives some character instead of it just looking so brand new. Because if you guys have been following me long enough, you would know that I don't always like things that look brand new. And really, honestly, this is not a brand new gun. If you've been following my channel, this is the same CM16 I've been using that has over 5,000 rounds. So with that being said, I might sound like a broken record mentioning some of the things I had replaced on here. Some of them I had replaced for the project, and some I had replaced purely because of wear and tear. So almost a 7-year-old gun. Okay, well, that said, moving on. So first I'm going to go over, next I'm going to go over the things I needed to replace. And then I'll go over the things that I did not need to, but I did it for the project. Okay. The inner barrel, the version 1 inner barrel and hop assembly was replaced by a version 2. So the version 2 is compatible with the version 1. This is a version 1 again. Here's the version 1 inner barrel. And here's a version 1 hop assembly. My gun wasn't feeding anymore, and I wasn't sure what it was. No matter what I did, nothing worked. So G&G hooked me up with a brand new version 2 inner barrel and hop unit. Threw that in there, and I still had the issue. So before I forget, I want to mention what the issue was. Because usually with the version 1s, it is the inner barrel and hop unit. You gotta reshim them. No, it's because of the magazines. Because the magazines are so old and have so many rounds through them, they got weak. The springs, should I say. So I disassembled these, took the springs out, stretched them a little bit, put them back in, and now that problem is gone. Now the only time she misfires is when it's a little too cold. And by the way, one of these is the stock version 1 magazine, and the other one is a version 2 magazine, and they both work 100% fine, just so long as they're maintained. A little side note, the inner barrel for the version 2 is somewhat shorter, it is heavier, it is thicker, and it has like that copper brass look to it, and the hop unit is slightly different. Instead of it just being this little plastic clipping there, there is also a metallic moon clip that goes in there as well. The blowback nozzle unit, this whole blowback nozzle was replaced. If you need spare parts, you can always go and email G&G, get a PayPal account, and they're reasonably priced. And I haven't had an issue with them yet, so go for it. What happened with this is that the metal piece inside here broke, so it stopped working at all, pretty much. So, careful with that. I think it got frozen up, brittle, and it split. And also wear and tear. The version 1 bolt, this end snapped off, which belongs there. That was replaced with a version 2. The version 2 is heavier, and it feels a lot more robust and solid. Now, with that being said, when I emailed G&G and asked them the differences between version 1 and version 2, they told me there wasn't really much of a difference. But if you go and you surf the web, and if you ask me, I'll say in my experience, I'll have to agree with the web, there are differences. I feel like the quality is much more hefty. Holding the new bolt and the old bolt side to side, one feels way more robust than the other. Same thing with the T-handle. The T-handle feels, the version 2 feels a lot more robust. And with that being said, the T-handle roll pin latch was replaced with a real steel AR-10 roll pin latch. The Delta ring assembly. Here we have the G&G original Delta ring assembly. Now I'm going to take this out because this spring, when I went to go paint the handguards, now mind you, I don't baby my airsoft equipment, nor do I beat the hell out of it. I think just from taking this off, it eventually wore this out and it gave out and it stopped working. The handguards were moving back and forth. They stayed on, but they were too noisy and it just wasn't right. So this is the original G&G Delta ring. Original G&G Delta ring spring. This is not G&G, this is a real steel one that came with the rest of this kit. So this that's fitted on here still is the original G&G. There is no need to remove it. So I got a real steel one in my spares. That's what that is, sorry. Amazon had a great holiday deal and I couldn't pass it up and it was free shipping. Very cheap on Amazon. Again, real steel Delta ring set. The ring itself and the spring are fitted to the gun. Extremely tight. Extremely. You might want to, if you're going to do this, if you're going to replace your original Delta ring, or maybe you just want some real steel parts on your G&G CM16, or M4, whatever. You can do that. Just keep in mind, this is really tight. I have smaller hands and arthritis, so this is a nightmare for me to put on, but I got it on, it's fine. And you might want to get a wrench though. Alright, a few other side notes. I like to mix it up between the vintage carry handle and the quick detach. Do I hand out towels with my showers? Big Bill? Okay. Because I like to switch between those two. There's no real difference. These are the exact same thing, except this is a G&G carry handle type, and this is a QD Cyma type. No carry handle. But I like to, again, switch it up. So it's a nice balance between modern and vintage. That was overall what I was going for, and I wanted it to have that reference kind of look to the Survivalist rifle in Fallout New Vegas. Now, the last thing on here is the flash hider. Now, the original flash hiders are a nightmare to take off. If you could take these off without breaking them, kudos to you. You should deserve some freaking cash, because I had to break mine to get it off because there's a pin. And the pin is actually glued into it, and through the threads and everything. So you have to like break it to get it off. I don't have it. I trashed it. It's gone. It's finite. But this one here, because again I wanted to go for a kind of a retro modern look, and this is exactly kind of what I had in mind, because it's got the 3-prong. It's like a rook castle head, kind of like the retro BR10s, and but it's got these contemporary or modern looking ridges on here. I never really seen on this type of flash hider. And there are grooves. Oh, the camera isn't. You can see it good there. And it's long enough too, to where it I don't know. It really reminds me of like the retro BR10 flash hider, except with the extra cuts and everything like that. And it's a little bit longer, so it was like a combination between the XM177 flash hider or Car 15 flash hiders and the BR10 or AR10. Call it a BR10 because they have a new BRN10 from Brownells, which is their rendition of the retro AR10s. Anyways, the XM177 flash hider is actually pretty much the length of this suppressor here. Actually, this would sit more so there. So it pretty much is half of that, maybe a little more than half. And I didn't want that length hanging off here all the time, because I wanted a flash hider that would actually be fitted to the gun, and or be mated to it or whatever. So I wanted half the length, because the length of this barrel is different than the length of the original AR-10s, I mean the XM177s or whatnot, because it's down to here. So you would really have that much, so I'll be like doubling up on that, and if you understand what I'm getting at. And I didn't want to do that. I want to keep it well balanced. I want it balanced in looks, and I want it balanced in weight, and you know, just well balanced overall. And I've definitely achieved that with this. This is really, really nice. Molly, by the way, I like to name my guns. And so what's next? What's next is I want to get wooden pistol grip and wooden handguards. They're going to have to be the carbine length handguards. But with that said, I might have to change the delta ring. I'm not sure. I guess it all really depends on where I go. But I'm not worried too much right now, because that's expensive. So, and again, these were not painted to look like wood. Come on now, I would try a lot harder than that. They are just a reference to the retro AR-10s. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Fondle her a little bit. Alright, everybody. Thanks a lot for watching. Hopefully this video wasn't too awkward. But, as always, it wouldn't be my channel without some awkwardness. So, there it is. This is my Survivalist Carbine build, which is essentially a combination between the retro AR-10s and the CAR-15s. There you have it. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. And, happy holidays.